eaten chocolate chip cookies? Wow, okay. How many of you have ever made chocolate chip cookies at home with your mom or your dad or grandparents? Wow, lots of you. Amazing. I'm going to read you a book today about chocolate chip cookies. But I also think the book is about math. And while I'm reading the book to you, I want you to think, while I'm reading, why I think the book is about math. But before we even do that, I would like to teach you a very special signal that I use to get attention from the students that I'm teaching. So I'm going to say these words. On the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. And after I say ready, ready a second time, you're going to do this. Hit the desk twice and clap once. Now, I'm going to do it one more time, so watch me. I'm going to say, on the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. Think you could do that all together? Okay, let's try it. I'm going to do it with you. All right. On the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. Okay, then you'd put all your eyes on me. But you know what? I really like it when all the claps are exactly the same. And that wasn't exactly the same. We had claps at different times. So let's try it again and see if we can do it all at the same time, all right? Okay. On the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. Almost. Let's try it again. We're getting there. On the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. Somebody's not in tune with us. Let's try it one more time. All right? On the break, all eyes on me. On the break, ready, ready. Very good. One clap, okay? But that's great. That's a good job. Okay, so let me start off by reading this book to you. And I want you to be thinking why this book about chocolate chip cookies is also about math. Because I want to find out today at the end of the lesson how much you know about division. This book is called The Doorbell Rang. Has anybody seen this book before or read this book before? Okay, so you're familiar with it. I'm going to read it for you, so if you can all have your eyes up here. It's a big book, so everyone can see the pictures. I've made some cookies for tea, said Ma. Good, said Victoria and Sam. We're starving. Share them between yourselves, said Ma. I made plenty. That's 6 each, said Sam and Victoria. They look as good as Grandma's, said Victoria. They smell as good as Grandma's, said Sam. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma. And the doorbell rang. It was Tom and Hannah from next door. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. What do you think Sam and Victoria are thinking right now? What do you think they were thinking right now?
Less cookies for them.
Less cookies for them, right. Why is it less cookies for them, Justin?
Because 2 more people came, you have to divide the 12 cookies into 4.
That's exactly right. So let's see what happens with the story. That's 3 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your grandma's, said Tom. And look as good, said Hannah. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Peter and his little brother. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies. What do you think the kids are thinking now? Yeah.
Even less cookies.
Even less. There are fewer cookies to share. That's 2 each, said Victoria and Sam. They look as good as Grandma, said Peter, and smell as good, too. Nobody makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, and the doorbell rang. It was Joy and Simon with their 4 cousins. Come in, said Ma. You can share the cookies too. Would you be happy right now if you were at the table? No, probably not. That's 1 each, said Sam and Victoria. They smell as good as your grandma, said Joy. And look as good, said Simon. No one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. And rang. Oh dear, said Ma, as the children stared at their plate of cookies. Perhaps you better eat them before we open the door. We'll wait, said Sam. It was Grandma with an enormous tray of cookies. How nice to have so many friends to share them with, said Grandma. It's a good thing I made a lot. And no one makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. So it was a short little story about chocolate chip cookies and how delicious they're going to be and how wonderful they smell and how much like Grandma's they are. But why do I think this is a book about math? David?
Because when someone came, we had to divide enough for each person.
Yeah, and what else do we call that? That's a great math word, divide. But what else do we call that?
Sharing.
Sharing, yes. So anytime we share something with each other, we're really dividing. Anytime you share something at home with your friends, your brothers and sisters, that's really math. You're really dividing. So we're going to do a little activity now. You ready to do an activity with me?
Yeah.
Okay. At each table, I understand that there is a person selected that brings the homework over to Mrs. Block. Raise your hand if you're the person at the table that has that responsibility. Okay. Would you come up here for me? I have something that I'd like you to hand out to your tables. Come on. I'd like you to bring 1 package of goldfish. Everybody at your table. Okay? So count out how many you need at your table. Don't open them
I know, I
open.
saw
I'm going
it.
to give you some directions. Okay. That's all right. You're welcome. But don't thank me yet. I'm going to give you some directions. You might be surprised. Pass this over. Okay. Extra? Thank you. All right. On the break. All eyes on me. On the break. Ready, ready. All eyes on me. Excellent. Thank you, Jessica. Okay. What I'd like you to do first is to hold up this piece of paper that was passed out to you. Okay? And I would like you to fold it in half just like this. And hold it up like this after you've done it so I can see everyone's folded it in half. Now I want you to turn it this way and fold it in half again. And then hold it up so I can see that everybody has it folded. Excellent. Now I want you to open it up. And you have 4 boxes on your paper on one side and 4 boxes on your paper on the other side. We're going to use these boxes to write some math problems down as we reenact the story, The Doorbell Rang. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is up in the very top, put your name for me.
Oh, I see.
Now, after you've put your name on it, I'd like you to hold up your bag of goldfish. Okay, now we're going to pretend, because I couldn't get enough chocolate chip cookies for the whole class. We're going to pretend that the goldfish are chocolate chip cookies. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to carefully open the bag and put 12 goldfish on the paper plate.
You got the ring on the plate.
Only 12. Keep the rest in the bag. Just put 12 on. And count them a second time and make sure you have exactly 12. Raise your hand if you know why I've asked you to put 12 cookies on your plate. Okay, she's absolutely right. Yeah.
Because in the story there was 12 cookies.
That's right. In the story there were 12 cookies. Well, we're going to do that. Yes, you're thinking ahead. You know the lesson that I'm going to be teaching, so that's great. So I'm going to read the story again. And as I read the story, I'm going to stop, and we're going to reenact the story. Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I see everyone paying attention so nicely. Thank you. I'd make some cookies for tea, said Ma. Good, said Victoria and Sam. We're starving. Share them between yourself, said Ma. I made plenty. Now look at your plate. If Sam and Victoria are going to share the cookies, can you separate the goldfish to show how many they would each get? Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to check in with the person sitting next to you, and I'd like you to see if you agree on how the goldfish should be divided. Now, I'd like you to think about this. You are looking on your plate, you are looking at a division problem. Does anybody want to come up to the front and write for me what the division problem is that is on your plate? What's your name? Yep. Excellent. 12 divided by 2 people equals 6. So it's 12 cookies being shared by 2 people is 6 cookies each. Would you all write this down in the first box on your paper? I have a question for you. Is this the only way to write this problem?
No.
No? Is there another way we can do that? What's your name?
Sochi.
Would you come up and show us a different way to write that problem? Hmm? Mm-hmm. Yes, the answer to. Okay. Now, she's looking at it in a little bit of a different way, but we could say there's 12 cookies now being shared by 6 people, and they would get 2 each. So this is a little bit different, but it's certainly in the same fact family. Is there a different format that we can write this problem? So this is a different way we can write a division problem. 12 with this symbol for division, which is the same as this one, divided by 2 equals 6. So this and this are 2 different ways to express the same division problem. Would you write this one down in the same box that you wrote this one in, so that you could see the 2 different ways that you can write a division problem? Let's go back to the story. That's 6 each. Do you all have 6 on your 2 piles of 6 on your plate? They look as good as Grandma, said Victoria. They smell as good as Grandma, said Sam. Nobody makes cookies like Grandma, said Ma, as the doorbell rang. And it was was Tom and Hannah from next door. "Come in," said Ma. "You can share the cookies." Could you rearrange the goldfish on your plate so that these can be shared now that Tom and Hannah have come into the room? Can you do that? What would that look like? How many would they be getting? Now, would you check with your neighbor and see if you agree? Would somebody like to come up and write this division problem up on the board? Jake? Okay, 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Raise your hand if you agree. Can someone come up and write that in a different format for me? How about Ian? Raise your hand if you agree that's another way. Excellent. Would you write that down in the second box on your paper? Thank you, Ian. Let's go on with the story. That's 3 each. So we're correct. What you have on your plates is correct. "They smell as good as your grandma," said Tom. "And look as good," said Hannah. "Nobody made cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. Now we have Peter and his little brother. Can you rearrange your cookies now that Peter and his little brother are in the room? How many do they get?
2.
Now chat with the person next to you and see if you agree. Now I'd like all of you in the next box on your paper to write this division problem that you've seen on your plate. You can write it one way or you can write it 2 different ways, whatever you choose. Give me a thumbs up when you finished writing your equation on the paper. Would you show that equation to the person sitting next to you and see if you agree that it is correct? Raise your hand if you agree with your neighbor. Excellent. Let's go on. That's 2 each, said Victoria and Sam. "They look as good as Grandma," said Peter. "And smell as good." "Nobody makes cookies like Grandma," said Ma, as the doorbell rang. It was Joy, Simon, with their 4 cousins. Rearrange your cookies. How many do they get now? Chat with the person next to you and see if you agree on how many cookies each person gets. Raise your hand if you agreed with your partner. Now, would you write down this division problem in the next box on your paper?